Hello everybody and welcome back to the cave. So, and how are you doing? Yeah, shit's gone down, hasn't it, outside? So let's all stay inside and let's watch YouTube videos for a bit. I'm going to be making a few over the next, well, foreseeable future. So yeah, I have decided today that I am going to do a video on one of my favourite toys when I was a kid and one of my favourite toys now as well. It's this guy. It's He-Man and it's Battlecat. How awesome is that? Yeah, very, very, very happy to have these and be able to show and tell these for you today. So yeah, let's get down to it and show off these guys. So here we have He-Man, and Battlecat from 1982. Mattel's Masters of the Universe line. It's a big old thing because I've had to move right back. My back here is basically just against the rest of the nerd cave, so it is a big old thing. I mean, obviously the classics version even bigger, but yeah, it's still a massive thing. And if you want to have a good look around it, so you've got Battlecat, basically the green and yellow tiger, Eternian tiger, and then He-Man sitting atop. Let's have a look at Battlecat first off, because it's an interesting one with Battlecat, because it is based on a line that they had called Jungle Jim. I think it was Jungle Jim. Big Jim. Not Jungle Jim. Big Jim. I'm getting confused because his Filmation self was based on a Tarzan character model. But yeah, not Jungle Jim. That's like one of those play sets, isn't it? Big Jim. Now, Big Jim was Mattel's version of G.I. Joe. And in that sort of line, in that set, they had a tiger character or a tiger figure. And I say figure, statue's probably more apt, isn't it? And this is basically the tiger from that. So under here, if you take all the armour off, take his helmet off and take his saddle, I guess would be the right term, you've got a basic tiger figure. And you can tell that's exactly what it's supposed to be, you know, with its snarling teeth and mouth, obviously long lithe body with tail, a little bit of mould in there to take out, saves a bit of money, doesn't it? And yeah, obviously the tail, and you can tell that this is a tiger poised to strike in some form. There we go. All they did, colour it green. I think it came about by accident. They said he needs something to ride, give him a steed, give him a machine or something, and they said, the guy was looking around and just thought, oh, that'll do, we'll just scale it up a bit so the figure can ride on it. So they scaled it up a bit, and there you go. I think it was supposed to be like a placeholder while they found something more sort of apt. But yeah, there we go. As a kid, I'm sure everybody did this, but they didn't have a separate Cringer figure as a kid, so I just took his armour off and used this as your Cringer figure. Panther, of course, we'll see at another point, came without the helmet. Well, let's put his stuff back on. So put his saddle back on. It's very simple. This, because it's old, doesn't fit in properly. But basically, you just strap it on like so. Usually it's the second or the third notch that works off, but it never stays on properly anyway. I doubt it did when we were kids, really. He's got a hole just there under that piece of horn or whatever it is, and that bit there fits on there. You just put that on there. There you go, and then strap his helmet on, and he comes with a helmet, and that's Battlecat in all his glory. Let's pop him down there, pop him to the side just a second while we have a look at He-Man, the main man, although technically that's Lobo, I guess. But He-Man figure from 1982, based around the idea of Conan the Barbarian figures. They were originally, as everybody knows, conscripted to make some Conan figures. Didn't work out, so they said, what can we do instead that's a bit like that? And then they came up with the idea of He-Man. and, you know, the most powerful man in the universe. Went through a few sort of changes, rewrites. Originally he was supposed to be a barbarian type figure, and they changed that when Filmation came along and obviously made him much more genteel, I guess. The Prince had an idea, basically a superhero. But when he was a barbarian, this is the sort of his power, this vest, they called it. The special metal that it was made out of. That was very Hawkman, frankly. So he basically had his nth metal, and then he became the most powerful man in the universe, off on a quest to find others of his kind, basically. He does have the old swinging punch mechanism, and it still works with his battle axe. Take his battle axe off. This is the figure, sorry, this is the weapon he would most sort of be wielding in the early box art when he was more of a barbarian type. His shield as well. Oops. Shield as well. Sort of based around the cross. Iron cross there for He-Man. Didn't they have to apologise once for using that? I forget. But anyway, the shield grips onto his arm really securely, actually. So his hand goes through that bit and his wrist clips on there. So if you can remember, there you go. Like that. And that's quite secure, has to be said. And then obviously in the show, the Sword of Power, which he grips, raised in the air, says, "By the power of Grayskull," and transforms into He-Man. As everybody knows, the Sword of Power, you only get one half with He-Man. Skeletor has the purple half, and he's got a little indent which fits into that sort of plug there. The idea being you put both halves of the Sword of Power together, then that will open Castle Grayskull. That will fit into the lock on Castle Grayskull and open it up, because the universe must have balance. Black Star used a very similar concept, so everybody wonders, basically, did they just copy it? Possibly. But in all the mini comics, the early mini comics especially, it has this, and it is a trope. Although never a trope in the show. He-Man had the power sword, Skeletor did not. And there we have He-Man in his barbarian-y glory. Obviously didn't look quite like that in the show. He's a bit softer in the facial features and not quite as angry. I mean, this guy is he's pretty jacked. I mean, let's face it. Got all his muscles. Always seemed a shame they didn't paint those. I would paint them myself, but number one, I'll mess it up, and number two, I kind of don't want to. Takes away from the nostalgia of the figure for me. But yeah, they all came with the furry knickers and the furry boots. They are barbarian-y typed after all. And obviously he's got his jacked back there. Look, he's got lumps where his back should be. But let's face it, this is a classic figure. Obviously the hands, all classic as well. If they've got a fist like that, that's for punching. And if they've got a hand outstretched like that, but it isn't claws, then they're good guys. If they're claws, then they're bad guys, which is why Zodak had a clawed hand. He was supposed to be a bad guy. As was Stratos, but I think he's got one of those hands. It doesn't always follow through, but yeah, you push back, and he's still got it. He's still a good puncher. So amazing. Let's tool him up. So yeah, like I say, he's pretty old school, this He-Man. So he comes with the battle axe. That's the one he uses. Put his power sword in the back like that, like he did in the show. And fit him with his shield. There we go, which I'm doing from distance, so do forgive me. Come on. There we go, and he's all on. So He-Man is now all tooled up, ready to fight Skeletor. Let's pop him on Battlecat, shall we? So let's pop Battlecat there, and He-Man fits nicely. Look at that. I mean, it's just, that is a classic toy at the end of the day, and that's a classic configuration of a toy. How many of us had that when we were kids and just were the happiest people in the world because we had He-Man and Battlecat? So happy I've got them. They're not the ones I had as a kid, the ones I bought later on, but so happy I've got these, and so happy I've got Skeletor and Panther as well. I will look at them in another video, but such a treat to have those. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back very soon with another video as well. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm locked in for a bit, so yeah, you're going to get a few videos from me over the next few weeks, I think. thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, please do rate, please do leave a comment. I'd be very interested to hear what you've got to say. Other than that, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Wash your hands, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.